Now, you're using this term investor portal, and funnily enough, I had somebody reached out to me yesterday who was talking about building an investor portal, and in fact, talking about working with Juniper Square. And I had to clarify what they meant about that, because this is what you and I chatted about a little bit before we started. What we do here at Gower Crowd is we create this digital presence online that establishes a relationship with a prospect and encourages them, or in fact predisposes them to invest. But at the point of investment, we don't handle any of the money, we don't handle any of the transactional stuff. That's what you do. So what is an investor portal? Just help me understand, or help our listeners to understand how you define that term.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of different ways to describe an investor portal, and it can get very confusing, but our definition of investor portal is really clear. It's a place where you can go to securely access information about your investment, right? So oftentimes, many groups, if they're just getting started, they don't even have an investor portal. You ask them how they communicate with their investors, they say, we send emails. Right. Well, we all know that emails are not really the most secure way to send highly confidential information. And there's lots of limitations in terms of what you can share, how you can share it, et cetera. And so the industry is moving to secure cloud-based portals. And the most important thing to think about a portal is you can go license Dropbox or Box.com, and that's a great place to stick documents, right? Many of you are in Google Drive, et cetera. But the thing that the industry is looking for when we talk about an investor portal is they're looking for a place to go and not only access the information about their investment, but to get the context behind their investment. So think about if you log on to your Charles Schwab or your Fidelity account and you look at how your public equity investments are performing. You don't go on and say, let me click through and find my underlying documents. Maybe you do once a year when it's tax season, but generally you don't go to the document area and try to read through every line. You want to see, is my portfolio up today or down today? And which parts of my portfolio are up and which parts are down? And then why? It's that context that is really important to an investor because, as many of your listeners and your customers would know, investors care a lot about understanding how their investment is doing. It builds trust, it builds credibility, and to be able to share that information securely is really, really important, especially in this day and age.
Interesting. All right. So investor portal, this is the perspective is through the eyes of the investor. So the portal is the way that the investor understands how their investments are doing with an individual sponsor that they've made with an individual sponsor.